All right, Noisy. Hello, hello. Hello, is anybody out there? Let me go ahead and get back into this. I'm trying to upload my videos. I had a problem. I had one of my windows open this morning doing a video recording, and I could not get my StreamYard to open up in video form for me. So if y'all will just bear with me just a second, I'm trying to get this stuff figured out. Please be patient. Hey, everybody. How we doing today? Here on Devoted Patriots 2 channel. I'm going to go ahead and pause this real
rhetoric.
quick.
Speaking of,
I got several video clips here for you folks today. Got 4 joining in. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late. I had a difficulty with my StreamYard this morning. I didn't realize it, but I had a window open in another app, a video window. So it was not letting me use the StreamYard at all this morning. I've been fighting with it for about an hour, and it finally dawned on me what was wrong here at the last minute. But at any rate, I've got several great clips for you here today, folks. I'm still getting used to this live stream stuff. Kind of a new one for me. A little wonky for me until I get used to it, of course. But at any rate, glad to see we got 5 people in here. Let me get over here and look in the comment section to see what we got going on. All right, let me get back up here to the comments. I already got a couple comments. Hello, Nancy, one of my favorite listeners. I guess you're all my favorites, to be honest. But Nancy been listening to my channel since probably day one, if not since close to the very beginning. Really great patriot. Lives here in Texas as well. I guess she's my neighbor. You could kind of say. So we got Junior on here as well. Hey, Junior, from Michigan. I like it. I like it. We got Face of America. Hey, Face, how you doing this morning? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. I got a few people here on the show. Tell me first off, is my microphone working pretty good this morning? Am I choppy? I did get me an Ethernet cable the other day to hopefully make this live streaming a little more smoother. If the sound is all good and everything, somebody just give me a thumbs up in the comment section. That'd be great. Now, like I said, I was running behind this morning, folks. I had a couple things planned out and it just didn't go as fast as I wanted it to. 5.5 here. Okay. Now where do I find that 5.5 at? I'll have to holler at you about that at a later point in time. I'm not very technically skilled, believe it or not, Face of America. I just kind of struggle through this as I go. Trying to figure it out. That's the ratio, 5.5. I will have to look into that and set it up that way if it's not already. Maybe the reason I'm having a few choppy issues. But I got several video clips here I wanted to bring to y'all today. We have a mantra going on. It is the left is panicking. They're hating on Trump. It's trying to spin doctor this crap to be something it's not. Nancy Pelosi done exposed herself with the words right out of her mouth. And then she went into a full-blown panic on MSNBC. I got a clip of that for you as well, folks. And I've got a mad American just pissed off the Republican Party, and I don't blame him. It was one of the better videos I've found this week as far as somebody just ranting and raving with the absolute truth about the fickleness of the Republican Party. But first, let's go ahead and get into this very first video clip. We've got Face the Nation here. And this is a little bit more Democrat fear-mongering panic.
What people say they would do. You've seen the Trump campaign talking about mass deportations. We tested that in a general way in principle. Would you support a new government program that would deport all people living in the U.S. illegally? And
Now, if you can see that chart with me there, folks, they asked people, not just whites, not just Trump supporters, but they asked just a broad spectrum of people across the United States, do you support this deportation plan that people like Trump are talking about? 62% of the country said yes. That's awesome, folks. That tells you where we're at. It's probably a little higher number than that, but there's probably some people that are afraid to be honest on such a thing. Hey, Zoo, how you doing? See you over here in the comment section. Nice to see you. But that's a hell of a number there. That tells a story about America. Does that make America a racist country that more than half of the citizens want to deport the illegal criminals living in our country on our taxpayer dime at the moment? Is that such a bad thing? If it is, I guess you could call me a racist. I don't know. I don't think I'm a racist person. I think I'm a very in the middle kind of person. I have black friends, I have Mexican friends, I have Spanish people in my family. It's never been about color or race or religion to me. It's, are you a decent person? That's how I decide if you're allowed in my circle of friends. How do you treat your family? How do you treat your wife? Not necessarily how do you vote, but how do you live your life? And that's the metric what I go by as far as letting people be, like I said, in my circle of small amount of friends. Not that I got tons of friends. Got a few fans. Got a Sigling fan. I got a box fan. You know what I'm talking about, folks. But at any rate, let's go ahead and finish this video out. This is an astonishing amount of numbers for this first poll. And as you'll see, we get closer to the election. This will be more of a hot topic than it is now. And the numbers will probably be a little more accurate and go up.
That finds majority favor. That finds 6 and 10. It's strongest among folks who are MAGA. It's strongest among Trump supporters, but also from some Democrats as well. And I think that speaks to the general idea, not just that people see the border as a crisis, but also where we are in the campaign, where a lot of very dramatic or new proposals out there are finding favor here.
So unpack that a bit, because this 62% of Americans favor deporting all undocumented immigrants. So Homeland Security says that President Biden has already deported or repatriated more people in the past year than any year since 20.
But those kinds of details, well, that's often up to the legislatures and the courts later on. We tested even the idea of should local law enforcement be involved in this? And a lot of folks do say yes. Again, the details of that, the specifics, you're not going to pick that up in an aggregate public opinion.
They weren't tracking the Supreme Court decisions.
Undoubtedly not. But look, it does tell you, though, for the viewer watching this campaign, that what we're seeing here connects to whether it's the courts, what some people say is the politicization of the courts, these ideas of mass deportations, et cetera. We are in a different era in which a lot of folks say the system as a whole is not working. And all of these, if you connect the dots through them, are part of that reaction against it, which explains some of that general sentiment for some of these policies.
It's really just kind of a do something.
And that's the facts, folks. No doubt about it. Even MSNBC, CNN are starting to capitulate to the fact of the matter that they know their listeners that are watching them want the same things that the Trump supporters want. We want peace on our streets. We want crime punished. We want closed borders. We want illegals deported. We don't want to support people that are here illegally. That just doesn't seem like a logical answer. We want to have to pay for our own college versus having somebody take it out of my check that I'm going to be paying for somebody else's college so they can better their life. There are so many policies that I could rattle off involving the Biden administration. Don't even get me started on foreign policy. I could go down that road for a week. But even MSNBC is starting to see it. They see that Biden is losing support in every metric, every way possible, and there's really not a lot they can do about it other than just say it's the messaging. It's the part of the country that is confusing the rest of the country with their rhetoric, with their conversation. It's not Joe's fault he's an idiot. I mean, basically, that's what it comes down to. And till their dying day, Face the Nation, MSNBC, CNN will support the Democratic Party until they absolutely lose their entire network behind just the way they lie to the people. I think that will be the killer of all of it. Now, this here is a comedy video for you folks. I hope I don't have any copyright issues behind it. I found it on the Gateway Pundit. It's hilarious. Speaking about Joe Biden, it's somebody's dog had a real issue with Joe Biden being on the screen. Maybe because the dog recognizes lizard people. Maybe the dog is just a good judge of character. I don't know, but the dog's reaction is classic, folks. Here we go.
Political status my dog is, right? There's Donald Trump. Do you see Donald Trump? Yeah.
With your help, we're going to win Nevada. We're going to defeat.
He's cool.
Your Biden-loving
Right?
radical left senator,
Okay.
Jackie Rosen.
Now we're gonna put. Check this out. I'm not lying about this. I don't know what's wrong with my dog. I think she's. I don't know what's wrong with her. Watch. We're gonna put Joe Biden. Joe.
Now watch this, folks.
Here we go. Oh boy. Here, let's put a good video of him.
Wait for it.
Who is that?
Welcome to the Oval
I'm telling you, bro. Molly, relax. Relax. It's just Joe Biden. Wait up. She really doesn't like. She just saw him and she doesn't like him. Here we go. Joe Biden. Relax.
Does not like Joe.
I think my dog is a fucking Republican. Relax, Molly. Relax, Molly. Molly. Relax.
That's too funny, folks. I had to watch that again at a later date.
Have any accountability.
Oh, let me stop this before we get into that. We'll get into talking about Nancy Pelosi here in a minute, but I'm sure a lot of you by now have seen the fact that she got caught on hot mic spitting her teeth out through her COVID mask with a little bit of truth involved. She does need to be held responsible. She does need to admit that she is responsible. They do need to worry about all our J6 prisoners' futures. And I'm not talking about futures in prison. I'm talking about futures out here on these streets where they belong. Nobody deserves to be unjustly locked up in such a way, especially when I believe a big part of what could have been prevented on January 6th is her fault. Nobody else's. Maybe the Mayor Bowser and a few other, Adam Schiff and a few other ones that were coordinating this sham riot. But these people need to not just be held accountable, but they need to be sued for all their insider trading wealth by all these J6ers that have been wrongly accused or maliciously prosecuted behind a lot of times misdemeanor offenses. It just breaks my heart to see what has happened to our country with the lawlessness. And it really started with the Black Lives Matter riots, and now we see it in our faces each and every day. Even people like Pelosi admitting that they orchestrated things that got people American citizens thrown in prison. This lady needs to be hung out to dry as far as I'm concerned, and that's just a nice way to put it. But we'll go ahead and get into this video here directly. Let me check over here in the comment section, see how we're doing. Now, is there a best time of day to be doing these videos? I know several people that I listen to have their own time slots when they do lives, like Face of America channel. She does a live every night at 9 p.m. I know Matt from American Patriot News, they do one in the morning, like 9 or 9:30 in the morning. Most of the time I catch Williams lives around noontime, so I'm trying to actually figure out what is the best time of day to bring a live in and not be stepping on anybody's toes as far as scheduling goes. Yeah, they're definitely not giving us any due process, and that is the whole linchpin of this whole problem. This is almost like vigilante justice, except for it's people in suits. It's the politicians sending the three-lettered agency officials to play Gestapo and come put hell on you live. And they can do it for anything from a mean tweet to running for president. There's really no limit to how far these clowns will go to stop this movement. I don't think it's going to work. I think more people will go to jail before this thing gets all hashed out. Hopefully, some of these people that need to go to jail will go to jail. I'm talking about the Pelosi's and the Adam Schiffs and the Chuck Schumers and the Joe Bidens and the Barack Obamas and all the clowns that are tyrants that are trying to ruin our country. And Fauci, too, not just for medical misinformation, but for the fact that he benefited of lying to the American people in the name of science, with dollar signs on each end, quotation marks. This seems to be like a good time. I think you're right. I hope so. I think I'm going to start doing them every day, noonish time. I just trying to see if the lives help my channel grow. I do memes sometimes. I do shorts sometimes. But I try to do at least one video a day, crank out some of the information coming out on the web. But I found myself on Twitter a lot lately. I really enjoy getting over on Twitter and sharing a lot of stuff out there. There's so much information on Twitter that just back to back to back, as quick as it rolls out. A lot of these people on YouTube, like Face of America and myself, have YouTube channels as well. And choose like mine is the same as my YouTube name. Not Facebook, I'm at Twitter pages. But for a fact, Face of America, myself, William Archibald, Dave Knott and Callie, so many of us over here on YouTube are over on Twitter as well, over on X, and most of us are under the same name channel, if not something close. But it's a war zone over there. But man, it is packed full of information. It is where I get a lot of my video clips these days. I do go to the Gateway Pundit and places like that as well. I still got my main sources, Daily Mail and stuff, but Twitter seems to be the place to find all the crowdsourcing coming together. Really do like it over there. Come over there and join me. Come subscribe to my channel over there. I share memes or repost memes over there like crazy, and repost articles and events that I know need to be shared out. That is one of the few things that I think I can do to help contribute to my country, is just to share the message, promote the truth, and expose the lies and the negativity and the propaganda that's going on in our country, because we're in a communication warfare situation right now like we've never been in before. I mean, this is like something out of the 1930s and 40s with Hitler and the pamphlets. Just crazy how far our country has slid off the cracker behind a socialist agenda. All right, let me go ahead and there is no due process. Now let's get back into this. A lot of y'all may have already seen this, but we're going to show you this, and we're going to show you the panic attack afterward. I guess that's what you call cleanup on aisle 9 after Nancy Pelosi said this shit.
For what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
Right there, she's playing dumb. She knew exactly why the National Guard wasn't there to begin with. She denied the access order, and I've heard it from several people, including Capitol Police Chief Mr. Sons and Kash Patel, who would know.
They thought that they had sufficient
No,
resources.
there's not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
That's funny. I think the hammer guy is working the camera.
Why do you think this is stirred up and a brouhaha on the right and in some corners of the media today?
Well, because of the fact is that the President of the United States, the former.
Before I get into this, can anybody tell me what is wrong with Nancy's face? I think her plastic surgery, Botox, something has happened. It looks like her face is sliding. And she looks half drunk. Tell me what you think.
President and his toadies do not want to face the facts. They're trying to do revisionist history on January 6th. But we cannot let us be dragged into their, again, false impression of what happened that day. They know what happened that day. They know how serious it is and was and continues to have an impact on our country.
I plan on going.
All right. Now, before we get into this next one, I want to say a few things. Now, this has been out a couple of days. This is just a little more of, this is Mika and Morning Joe. These are probably two of the worst out there. They're MSDNC contributors. These folks lie for a living. They're full-blown Trump haters. I don't watch these people for entertainment purposes, but sometimes they are just off the rocker silly with their narrative. If you're anybody but a Trump hater and you've seen these two clowns spilling this garbage, you would say, that can't be the truth. That can't be right. These folks are nuts. And that's really how I think how a lot of America sees mainstream media now. Not just these two clowns. America's starting to really wake up and see that there is two kinds of media out there. The ones that are trying to promote Joe Biden and the rest of them that are trying to tell the truth. And everything else in between is either censored or shadow banned. You see, speaking about that right now, Alex Jones, InfoWars, Steve Bannon, War Room, Epoch Times, all three major conservative outlets that have a huge voice on the MAGA movement, on the conservative movement, on the truth news, on the exposure of our wicked government. Guess what? All three of them, there is no coincidences, have problems, have legal problems, have financial problems, have going to jail problems. This is not an accident, folks. Our government has weaponized, like they weaponized against Trump. They're weaponized against anybody that has a loud voice in the Trump world. Will not surprise me if they go after more. They're going to try to probably throw Rudy Giuliani in jail right before the election and several other people. And I hate to see it, but the Democrats are only going to get meaner and nastier and more wicked in their ways. They're going to use the three-lettered agencies to try to change the narrative, which is not going to change. We've woken up. The American people know. Dentures and booze Nancy. That's right. She drinks her calories. I know somebody like that. Yes, the J6 was absolutely a setup. She is definitely a lush. This is Navarro, Navarro are China's most wanted. Their prosecutions are not coincidences. Yeah, I forgot about Peter Navarro. There's another one that didn't deserve what he gets. It's kind of funny how you can get a contempt of court charge as a Republican. Go to prison for it. You can get a contempt of court threat from a Republican, and nobody ever goes to jail. Nobody ever gets a contempt charge. Nobody ever actually is held accountable in Congress, especially if you got a D in front of your name. Speaking of that, I've got a short video clip. It's actually a really great clip here after this one, I believe it is. This guy goes off, and let me just let you know right now, a lot of profanity, but he's right. He's just pissed off the Republican Party. And he said not the Republicans, but the Republican electors, the people that are selected to run our country because they were put into office. by elective process. Those are the people he's talking about. But I'll get into that here directly. Let's get back to Morning Cup of Joe and Full of Shit Mika.
Again, it's just like the way we started this show. Trump is literally crazy on stage, and I say it not in a good way. Not well, not fit, not mentally capable of holding together a sentence when his prompter goes down. And yet Biden is constantly covered for being old, but yet travels onto the world stage doing speeches, dinners, important ceremonies, recognizing people who suffered and survived D-Day,
Right.
spending time with them, connecting with them. You see it all on video, except if you go to these places or you talk to those Republicans, you see the one time where he couldn't find his chair.
Well, but even
Or
that
it's
was
doctored.
a lie. It's disinformation.
The one time he couldn't find his chair, and then they start talking about lies and disinformation coming out of the Republicans' mouth. Did they just not tell a hell of a whopper? The one time Biden couldn't find his chair. Biden can't find the stairs. He can't find the chair. He can't miss a sandbag. He can't find that ghost that he keeps trying to shake hands with, but he's still looking. He can't find the teleprompter, and he definitely can't find the support he needs to win this election. That's what I know for a fact, and that is the best part of this shit show of election season we're going through. As bad as it gets, as bad as it is, as long as it's taking another 147 days, I believe it is, 148 days, and we are ready to go vote the sucker out. But fact of the matter is, folks, there is a countdown. I'm looking forward to it. It can't come fast enough, not for just me, but you, the American people, so we get our country back in order. I foresee the stock market going crazy. I foresee so many good things happening when Trump gets back in office. I believe there will be riots. I believe Black Lives Matter and Antifa will be paid actors again. But I believe more than that, the country will have hope. And hope is about the best thing you can have for an economy. When you get people spending because they think they're going to make it, the economy thrives. People are able to invest. People are willing to invest. That's how you grow an economy. That's how you turn this inflation rate around. That's how you deal with this problem. And then you take all those executive orders that all these trillions of dollars are expected to be funneled into over the next couple of years that were all signed off on in the last year by Mike Johnson, Rhino Mike Johnson, and the Democrats. Those things, a lot of them will be thrown out, kicked back, re-executive ordered in a different way to where they don't cost the American people. And I'm looking forward to it. I hope Trump has got 150 executive orders on day one to not just change things, but to fix things. All right, let's see who else we got in the comment section down here. If y'all don't know John from American in Brazil, he's been an American in exile, American in Brazil. Well, YouTube gives him a hard time over there. He's like me. He hasn't really learned to keep his language perfect for the platform. That's why this isn't my first channel. It goes that way with dealing with these folks. You literally got to walk on eggshells, pins and needles sometimes, and bite your tongue in order to just stay afloat on places like BooTube, YouTube. That's one of the things I like about X is not censored like this as much. So I do encourage everybody, if you don't have an X account, go get you one. If you don't follow anybody on X, go over there and check it out. There are some really great reporters over there that I follow, and they make a huge difference in our information flow. I'm talking about Julie Kelly's and Laura Loomers, and there's so many Charlie Kirk's and Jack Sobick. There's tons and tons of people that I follow over on Twitter that are just top of their game, investigative journalists. And that's what I'm looking to find is the stories like that, the ones that somebody just exposed that's going to help us win the election by people like me and you sharing this stuff out. So even the mainstream media idiots start to figure out they're being lied to. You know what? As long as you have a contrast to the lie, people have a choice to realize there's more than one option.
Information. It's
This
doctored.
is where we are right now.
It's lies versus the truth. It really is. And let Republicans keep lying about Joe Biden. It's only going to help him in the end. It's only going to lower expectations so much that he's going to come out and do what he does at every State of the Union address. He's going to outperform because of all the lies that are told about him.
You hear that crap, folks? They did more trashing of Trump than they did anything, and they tried to cover Biden's ass by saying the American people are the ones that are confused. Now, I don't think anybody's believing that, not even their listeners. So I think the Democratic base is shrinking every single day. I believe not only are more people going to vote, more people are going to vote for Trump. Less people are going to vote for Biden than ever have voted for a Democrat before. You watch. This will be a shit show of an election. Trump is going to blow them out of the water by 10 or 15 million votes, I do believe. With the exception of the shenanigans, however that factors in with the illegal vote count. You know what I mean when I say illegal. I'm talking about the fair-skinned border crossing illegals. Yeah, I would say that's true. X is the original battleground. I've only been over there for several months, but the more I get over there, the more I like it. It's just a free flow of information over there is what I like about it. And it's quick, just back to back to back information overload over there. I'm not selling stocks on Twitter today, but I am going to let you know that it is the war zone. It is the place to find the truth. If there's anything going on, TikTok and Twitter, I would say, are the first two places to get it for the most part. All right, I got a video clip here, and I'm going to keep this one, save it in my files, just because I'm going to be using this in November. Throw it back in his face. Here we go.
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump. And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me. We can only reelect Donald Trump. And turn this primary from a campaign.
I had to listen to it a couple times, folks. This guy is wackadoodle. He can't even speak a complete sentence while he's reading it off the teleprompter. If that doesn't say nothing, if that doesn't say something, nothing does. This guy cannot even follow basic instructions. All right, now here, this is a really crude video clip. A little bit of profanity. Just want to warn you. I'm gonna back it up. I don't know if you can hear this guy really clearly, but he says he's sick of the Republican Party itself.
At the Republican Party themselves. And I ain't talking about the supporters. Oh, no. All you Republicans, all of you elected Republican officials, fucking stop being some fucking pussies. You see what's going on in this country. You see what Trump stands for. You see it. You have an obligation to the fucking people. If you let this shit slide, man, you are just as shitty as these goddamn crooks. These liberals think they can just do whatever the fuck they want. You know why that is? It's because we sit there and we say we want to do it we want to talk it out. These motherfuckers should have been in jail.
That's right.
They should have not even made it this goddamn far. Do you know why? Because you're a bunch of pussies! Stand up for your country!
I can't express this sentiments any better. That's the way I feel. I don't put it out there on my videos like that. I'm not out here screaming and cussing. But truth be known, I'm sure a lot of us feel that way inside. Just exactly what he said. Sick of the fucking Republican Party. Do nothing. Threaten the Democrats, and then go on with your business about campaigning, and that's the extent of it. I hate to say that, but we've only got about 20% of the Republican base that's worth a shit. The other 75% or so, they're part-time Democrats, and that's just the facts. And I hate that. I believe that the MAGA movement has made a huge difference in filtering out some of this trash we call rhinos. But I feel this guy's sentiment 100%. What's wrong with our country is not just Democrats versus Republicans. It's it's wickedness versus good. It's good over evil. And when we got people that are so weak-spined, weak-minded, roll over, play dead, grab your ankles, Republicans, we've almost lost our country behind half of American politicians are Democrats and they're wicked. The other half are Republicans, and over half of those are sold out. So it doesn't really give us a fair shot in this country to have the representation that we the people deserve. We do have some great fighters out there fighting for this country. For example, Ken Paxton, one of the greatest attorney generals we've ever seen in this country. He is fighting today for the border to be closed. He's fighting to stop these election shenanigans. He's fighting for election integrity. And he's also fighting the school boards, the Department of Education, behind this perversion pushed into our schools. And not just in Texas. He's trying to do all this in every state. I would say, with the exception of Ken Paxton would be a great attorney general for the United States, with the exception of not wanting to lose him here in Texas, being a Texan myself. But there's a lot of great fighters out there among all these weak rhinos. And I just want to give a shout out to a few of them. If even 30% of them were really MAGA, America First policy supporters, Trump supporters, people that actually care about this country over their wallets. If we even had 30% of our government on that page, we would stand a chance. But this 80-20, 75% deciding with the Republican or with the Democrats on every spending bill that ever comes across the desk, that's what's wrong with our country. That's why we have inflation. That's why the American people, like this guy right here, are pissed off. We're tired of seeing these Republicans go, I'm going to get them next time. We're going to send them a harshly worded letter. I feel the same way, guy. With the exception of me not wanting to scream and cuss and yell on the internet, I couldn't have said it any better. All right, let's get into this. I got a few more little clips here for you folks before we jump out of here.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
Now, that was a few words from Joe. One word.
She knows so long as she was denied, our freedom can never be secured.
I don't even know what that word means. Sounds like the drugs were wearing off to me, to be honest, folks. Yeah, this guy is lost as a goose in a hailstorm, as I was told. All right, folks, that is my intro. Now, the reason I played this is not because we're necessarily done with the broadcast, but I wanted to know, like Face of America, John, some of these other content creators out here. I really kind of need a tutorial on how to build my own intros and things. That particular intro there I got from Dave, not in Cali. He sent it to me when we were doing shows together, and I've used it ever since. But I would like to have more than one intro. But to be honest, I am not that great at editing at this point. I'm still feel like I need a crash course in brain surgery when it comes to technical skills, especially when it comes to editing, moving, editing like such as that. Anybody has any advice, you're welcome to give me a shout out here in the comment section or on my channel either way. And I have an email as well if you want to talk privately. I have a phone number as well if you ever want to talk. Any of these other content creators out here that are doing just what I'm doing, trying to make it, trying to share the truth, and trying to expose the line left. Well, folks, that's about all I got for you today. I just figured I'd bring you all some different clips that I thought were interesting in the news and needed to be shared out. Everybody have a great day. Like, subscribe, and share to Vote of Patriots. Over and out.